Today we're going to be talking about the 10 essentials that you need whenever you go out for just a day hike, or maybe you're going out for a 2-week backpacking trip. These 10 items will help you prepare for any situation that you might find yourself in. So, the first essential that we're going to be looking at today and that you need to have is some form of navigation. So this could include a compass or map, maybe a GPS, a satellite messenger, or even a personal identification beacon. These are all just important ways to help let you know where you're going, as well as someone else know where you're going to be. So it's always important to know the location that you're going to before you go out. Let someone else know where you're going. And then it's very important that depending on what you choose, what item you choose as your navigation tool, you know how to work that. So if it's a GPS, you know how to work with that little device, or if it's a map and compass, that you know how to read the compass and read the map. And there are a variety of online resources that can teach you how to do that. Our second essential is actually going to be sun protection. So it's really important that when you go out hiking or you go out backpacking, to protect your skin from harmful UV rays that can oftentimes cause sunburns or even skin cancer. So to protect against that, we really recommend taking some sunscreen with you, usually at least 30 SPF, just to be sure that you're getting full protection. Along with that, it's always good to also have sunglasses to protect your eyes against the UV rays, along with maybe a sun hat or even long pants, a long sleeve shirt that kind of reflect the sun off of you. These are just good ways to keep yourself safe. The next one is illumination. So we're talking anything from a lantern to a headlamp or a flashlight. Usually we prefer to take a headlamp. This just makes it easier to have your hands free, so when you're in the camp at night, or maybe you're on the trail and it's starting to get dark, you're able to just throw this on real quick. You can still use your hands on your trekking poles, or maybe you're making dinner. The thing is, when you're out in the backcountry, there's not going to be any forms of conventional lighting. So you're not going to have a light post or, any street signs that are lit up. And so you're going to need these to be able to see. It's especially important to always carry extra batteries. I know I've been in situations before where my light has gone out and I didn't have them, so always remember to take those with you. So the fourth essential is having extra insulation. So the environment can be really harsh. Nature can change all of a sudden. It can go from 80 degrees and sunny to all of a sudden windy and rainy. And so it's always important to pack some extra clothes to have with you. So right here, I just have an extra pair of pants, maybe a thermal base layer, and then like a jacket. I also usually take with me my rain gear, so rain jacket, rain pants. These are always essential, especially if it gets cold or if it gets windy, wet. That rain jacket is going to keep you warm while keeping all that moisture off of you. And then with these other layers, if it does get cold, I can throw those on over whatever I'm wearing to give me that extra warmth. So insulation is always super useful to have with you. Our next one is crucial. So it's our first aid kit. You always want to make sure you have one of these on you. I guess if you're just going by yourself, or if you're in a big group, your first aid kit is going to differ in size depending on how many people you have. So we always recommend buying a pre-made first aid kit that has everything from just like some Band-Aids to gauze to disinfectant to any painkillers, and then depending on where you're going, you can modify your first aid kit to match the environment that you're going to be in. Along with that, it's always important to maybe have a little notebook or a little guide that actually has emergency situations and teaches you what to do in case you might not know. So you always want to have one of those on you, and you always want to know where it is at all times. Now, our next one is also super important, and it's fire. So being able to start a fire in the backcountry It's a great heat source if you're trying to stay warm. It's a great heat source for cooking. And then you can even use fire as an emergency signal in case you get lost or in case someone needs to find you, emergency teams need to find you. So we always recommend carrying either matches, waterproof matches, a lighter. So these ones, we have a couple of matches here, we have a lighter here. We also, if you don't happen to have those, flint and steel striker are always a fantastic way to start a fire, keep that going. Those are also waterproof. Once you dry it off, you can strike it again, it'll still create that spark. Along with that, we always recommend taking some tinder. So this is just simply dryer lint put inside of an egg carton with a little bit of melted wax on top. Now, once you light one of these, it's going to burn for about 5 to 10 minutes and really get your fire going. So always be prepared to have a little bit of tinder with you. Along with fire, we always recommend looking up the park or wild area that you're going to beforehand. Check on their website or maybe call a ranger to see if there are any fire restrictions going on or if there are any regulations you need to know about before you actually go out into the backcountry. So now, our 7th essential is going to be a repair kit and knife. So whether or not you're going into the backcountry or even the front country, I think a knife is always super important to have on you. It has gotten me out of so many just little situations, and I use it on the daily, whether I just need to cut some string or maybe even cook with it. Stuff like that, it's always super important to have one of these, especially in the backcountry. And along with a knife in the backcountry, it's great to have a repair kit. So this can be anything from duct tape to a little bit of cord or paracord, along with just a little repair kit. So like in this one, I have a bunch of random little items, maybe some lids, a couple of just repair tape. So these come in a lot of handy when I'm repairing maybe a sleeping pad that ripped, or I'm repairing a tent that ripped, maybe a tent pole. These are all crucial to have, especially when a piece of equipment suddenly breaks and you're left needing to fix it. After that, I don't have any out with me, but our next essential is food. It's so important to have extra food whenever you go out, whether it's just a day hike or you're backpacking. Bring as much as you can so that you can remain just taking in nutrients, vitamins, everything that you need. So usually you're gonna pack according to how long you're out. If it's just a day hike, we recommend taking maybe like a lunch along with a bunch of salty snacks. So this could be trail mix, nuts, dried fruit, or even some beef jerky. Those are great ways to just keep your energy up, and they're lightweight and you can pack a lot into your bag. So then after that, we also have our water treatment and our water source. So wherever you're going, it's always important to bring a lot of water. So we usually recommend, if you're going out on a day hike, bring about 2 liters of water. That's a great way to start off, just at a base level, so you know you at least have that. After that, it's great to know where your water sources are. So if you're at a place that has maybe some amenities, you'll be able to get some clean water straight from maybe like a sink or a fountain. If you're not near that, it's always great to have some type of water treatment with you. So for me, I have a couple of iodine, or I have the iodine with me. These are a couple of droplets that you'll just drop right into your water, leave for a little bit, and it'll purify it. I also have a pump with me. We have another video out that you can check out that shows you how to use a water treatment pump. There are other sources too, like a SteriPen, or they make little tablets that you can also drop into your water that purifies it. So just knowing what purifying systems you have, as well as where a source of water, running water is a great way to stay hydrated in the backcountry. Our 10th and probably most important essential is having a shelter. So whether you're in the front country or the back country, it's always great to have something that can protect you from severe weather conditions and just get you out of the elements. So this can be anything from a just general tent, gets you out, or even a tent, a bivy sack, or even a space blanket. So bivy sack is really just a giant sack that you climb into that has a cinch that you can usually just tighten. It's waterproof, keeps you out of the elements, and also keeps you warm. Same with a tarp and a space blanket. They're just great ways to wrap around you, get you out of the rain and elements, keep you warm. These are your 10 essentials whenever you go out. And it doesn't have to exactly be these. We just recommend carrying at least one type of each of these, so that when you do go out, you will be fully prepared for any situation that you might find yourself in when you are in the backcountry. So with that, thanks and giggle.